Shall we start from?
Oh, please.
Okay. Thank you. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Shri Radha Giridhari ki Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki Shri Gaura ki Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 8, Text 54. I'll just pull it up here. Is it 54 or 55? 54. Okay. Shri Vaitalika Uchuhu Sabhashu Satreshu Tava Amalam Yasho Gitva Saparyam Mahatim Labhamahe Yas Tam Aneshid Vasam Esha Durjano Dvishtya Hatas Te Bhagavan Yathamayah. Shri Vaitalika Uchuhu Sabhashu Shatreshu Tavamalam Yasho Gitva Saparyam Mahatim Labhamahe Yastamaneshid Vasamesha Durjano Dushtya Hataste Bhagavan Yathamayah. Sabhashu Shatreshu Tavamalam Yasho Gitva Saparyam Mahatim Labhamahe Yastamaneshid Vasamesha Durjano Dushtya Hataste Bhagavan Yathamaya. Sabhashu Satreshu Tavamalam Yasho Gitva Saparyam Mahatim Labhamahe Yastamaneshid Vashamesha Durjano Dvishtya Hataste Bhagavan Yathamayah. Shri Vaitalika Uchuhu Sabhashu Shatreshu Tavamalam Yasho Gitva Saparyam Mahe Yastamaneshid Vashamesha Durjano Dvishtya Hataste Bhagavan Yathamayah. Shri Vaitalika Uchuhu Mamalam Yatha Dvishtya Hataste Bhagavan Yathamayah. Shri Vaitalika Uchuhu Sabhashu Shatreshu Tavamalam Yatha Yashu
Shri Vaitalika Uchuhu Sabhashu Satreshu Tavamalam Yasho Gitva Saparyam Mahitim Labhamahe Yastamaneshid Vashamesha Durjano Dvishtya Hataste Bhagavan Yathamaya.
Shri Vaitalika Uchuhu Sabhashu Satreshu Tavamalam Yasho Gitva Saparyam Mahatim Labhamahe. Yastam Anaishid Vasham Esha Durjano. Dvishtya Hatas Te Bhagavan Yata Mayaha.
Sri Vaikuṇṭha Uchuhu Pravashu Shatreshu Tavamalam Jasho Gidva Shaparyam Mahatim Labhamahe. Yastam Anishid Vasham Esha Durjana. Dishta Hataste Bhagavan Jathamahe.
Okay. Shri Vaitalika Uchuhu. The inhabitants of Vaitalika Loka said, Sabhashu, in great assemblies, Satreshu, in the arenas of sacrifice, Tava, your, Amalam, without any spot of material contamination, Yashaha, reputation, Gitva, singing, Saparyam, respectful position, Mahatim, great, Labhamahe, we achieved, Yaha, he who, Tam, that respectful position, Anaishit, brought under, Vasam, his control, Isha, this, Durjanaha, crooked person, Dvishtya, by great fortune, Hataha, killed, Te, by you, Bhagavan, O Lord, Yatha, exactly like, Amayaha, a disease. Translation by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The inhabitants of Vaitalika Loka said, Dear Lord, because of chanting your spotless glories in great assemblies and arenas of sacrifice, we were accustomed to great respect from everyone. This demon, however, usurped that position. Now, to our great fortune, you have killed this great demon, exactly as one cures a chronic disease. Next one. The Kinnaras said, which is text 55, translation, O Supreme Controller, we are ever existing servants of your Lordship. But instead of rendering service to you, we were engaged by this demon in his service, constantly and without remuneration. This sinful man has now been killed by you. Therefore, O Lord Nrsimhadev, our Master, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Please continue to be our patron. Text 56. Translation. The associates of Lord Vishnu in Vaikuṇṭha offered this prayer. O Lord, our supreme giver of shelter, today we have seen your wonderful form as Lord Nrsimhadev, meant for the good fortune of all the world. O Lord, we can understand that Hiraṇyakaśipu was the same Jaya who engaged in your service but was cursed by brāhmaṇas and who thus received the body of a demon. We understand that his having now been killed is your special mercy upon him. Purport. Hiraṇyakashipu's coming to this earth and acting as the Lord's enemy was prearranged. Jaya and Vijaya were cursed by the brāhmaṇas, Sanaka, Sanat-kumāra, Sanandana and Sanātana. Because Jaya and Vijaya checked these four Kumāras, the Lord accepted this cursing of his servants and agreed that they would have to go to the material world and would then return to Vaikuṇṭha after serving the term of the curse. Jaya and Vijaya were very much perturbed, but the Lord advised them to act as enemies, for then they would return after 3 births. Otherwise, ordinarily, they would have to take 7 births. With this authority, Jaya and Vijaya acted as the Lord's enemies. And now that these two were dead, all the Viṣṇudūtas understood that the Lord's killing of Hiraṇyakaśipu was special mercy bestowed upon them. Thus ends the Bhakti-Vedanta purport of the 7th canto, 8th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Lord Narasimhadev Slays the Kings of the Demons. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishnam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurau Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhaevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nama Om Viṣṇupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. My obeisances to all of you. Today we are reading from chapter 8. The Lord kills or slays the king of the demons. This is the end of the chapter, the last 3 verses. In the first verse that we just chanted today, we are seeing that there are different inhabitants of different lokas. Here we see from Vaitālika loka. They are Vaitals, Prabhu is saying? Yeah, I tried to search the entire Veda base. I couldn't find any reference except this one. For Vaitālika keyword. So I don't want to say anything about that. If anyone knows about who lives there, then please share. We have some references. Maybe you are the one from that loka.
That's funny. Because they say that they'd chant in great assemblies and get a lot of respect.
Yes.
They were upset. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they are also chanting. So probably the higher planetary systems definitely than this planet Earth. And they are saying because of chanting your spotless glories in great assemblies and arenas of sacrifice. So looks like there also the dharma or yoga dharma is, chanting the holy names. So today morning I just took a walk near the ocean and, nice breeze was there. And I was meditating on the ocean. Krishna is, Karuna Sindhu. He is the ocean of mercy. And that mercy is flowing like a breeze for all of us. And Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, among the bodies of water, I am the ocean. And what is the function of the breeze? The nature of the breeze is to purify. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also mentions, among the purifiers, I am the wind. And how do we purify our existence? By following our dharma. And what is the dharma? The Yuga dharma is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is the Yuga dharma. Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. Hare Nam Eva Kevalam. Kalau Nasti Eva Gatiranyatha. So that is the Yuga dharma. And when we are in association of devotees, we connect especially for the purpose of nourishing the spiritual side of things, and we give, which gives us inspiration and faith in, what we are doing in this world. And we have our body, mind, and our, soul, ourselves. So we try to balance all of these three together. Our physical health, emotional health, and spiritual health. So if we give time to spirituality nicely, then we can handle other difficult situations, whatever they are. And Martin Luther King said, if you do not have an ideal to live for, then you have nothing to die for. So, or reverse, if you do not have an ideal to die for, you do not have anything to live for. Sorry, that is the reverse that he said. So, if we have that ideal to die for, so we know that the body dies, but the soul never dies. So body has to die. All of us have to die, whoever we are, whatever situation. Even as devotees, we have to die. But before that time comes, if we are able to make that connection, that spiritual connection, through the chanting of this mantra, and liberate our mind, and free ourselves from greed, envy, illusion, and free our mind by chanting the holy names, Cheto Darpan Marjanam, then we can utilize the time that we have while living in this body, while the soul is there within this body. Na jayate mrete va kadachin, nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuya, ajo nityam sashvato ayam purano, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So this soul never takes birth, it does not die, it is not slain when the body is, it is always in existence. So Jesus Christ in the Bible said, it is easier to put a camel through the eye of the needle than for a rich man to achieve the kingdom of God. And further it says, it is not possible for man, but for God it is possible. So similarly in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kunti Maharani, what does she say? Janma Ishwarya Shruti Shribhir. You would like to chant that verse, Prabhu? Yeah, please. Kinchana Gochara. So, Yudhishthir Maharaj is Akinchan Agochara. He was the king of the world, but he still thought that all this Janma, Aishwarya, Shruti, Shribhir, all this wealth, this education, this opulence, everything belongs to Krishna. And Kunti Maharani says the greatest obstacle in spiritual life is what? Wealth, education, high birth, all these things are great obstacles. But if we understand they are impediments only if they bring greed and envy, and we understand that Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richyati. Nice. You would like to chant, Prabhu? Okay. So Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam. So Krishna is, so this is the peace formula in the Bhagavad Gita. I was hearing Dravida Prabhu's Bhagavad Gita class. He was saying this is the peace formula. And he said that Krishna is the proprietor, he is the enjoyer, he is the controller. He is so powerful. Yet he is what? He is your best friend. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. And if we know that, then what will happen? Gyatva Mam Shantim Richyati. Shanti means peace. You will be at peace. I was hearing once Giriraj Swami Maharaj, and he was saying, out of 7 billion people population on this. Everybody wants to be the enjoyer, the controller. Everything should go according to me. I am the center of the universe. But here Krishna is saying he is the proprietor, he is the controller. Jivera Surup hoy Krishnera Nityadas. Our position is to be the servant of Shri Shri Radha Giridhari. That is our constitutional position, which can give our soul real happiness. And one of the impediments is our ego, and ego can be purified on this path by doing service, seva, in the association of devotees. And then for grihasthas, to purify the wealth, they must give in charity to purify wealth also. And earn with integrity and spend with compassion. So that is a very important dharma for the householders. Because it is our choice what we want to do. Just like in the Ramayana, Hanuman used his powers to bring Sita back. And what did Ravan do? Ravan took away Sita. They are exactly doing the same opposite things. They are yet both powerful, equally powerful in terms of their, physical strength. Forget about spiritual strength, but they are equally powerful. So one is using for something and other is using for the other thing. So these are the two tendencies in our heart. It's like the good dog and the bad dog within us. In the Native American, tradition, they say everybody has a good dog and a bad dog. The good dog is like humility, gratitude, serve with compassion. The good dog is like very slowly, and the bad dog is bow, bow, very loudly he's barking. Bad dog is like greed, envy, illusion, anger, all those things. And which dog will win? The one that you feed more. So that is our choice. That whoever we feed more, that dog will rule over the other. And whatever choices we make will decide our future and the time that we spend, because time is, we cannot stop the time. Time is going by. That will determine our destiny. So here we are seeing that the descendants of Vaitalika Loka, they are chanting, which is the Yuga Dharma for Kali Yuga, and they are doing the yajna. So yajna has different meanings. Yajna may mean sacrificing something, bad to get a good thing, or it may mean like neglecting a bad dog to hear the good dog. So that is also yajna or sacrifice. And then chanting of mantra. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam says, Yajna Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Sumedsa. The intelligent people, they perform the chanting of the holy names. So looks like, these inhabitants are very intelligent and they are chanting the glories. But at the same time, they are saying, we were accustomed to great respect from everyone. So we also saw Indra, he's from the higher planetary system, Swarga Loka, that is the Indra as a position. And he also was accustomed to a lot of respect, that everybody should worship me for rainfall. And then Krishna had a discussion with his father Nanda Baba that why should we worship, Indra, because it is his duty to give rainfall. Why should we give bribe? Like in the Bhagavad Gita also, in 8th chapter, Krishna says that avidhi purvakam, the worship of the demigods, whoever does the worship demigods is avidhi purvakam. So basically, if there is a department and if you are trying to bribe the people who are working under the main person or the owner, say CEO of a company, and you are trying to bribe the directors or the managers, then that's not correct. You should directly give water in the root of the tree. So so here we see that they are accustomed to great respect. And when we are talking about respect, we also see in Shiksha Ashtakam that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Amanina manadena kirtanya sadahari. Do not expect respect for oneself, but give respect to others. You know, such a important principle, and so difficult to follow, right? Because we are always looking for, I mean, I'm talking about myself, always looking for respect for oneself. And what Mahaprabhu is saying, if you are able to do that, amanina marandena, then what will happen? Kirtaniya sadahari. Then you will be able to chant the holy names of Krishna. Always. Dravida Prabhu has chanted the Shikshashtakam once in Mayapur, the whole Shikshashtakam, and then its poetry form, translation in English, you know. So it's on YouTube, so if anybody would like to watch, it's so amazing. And there's so much power, energy in that room in Mayapur, Chandrodaya Mandir. All the devotees and Srila Prabhupada disciples, and everybody is like roaring and so ecstatic. Somebody is playing harmonium, mridanga, kirtan in front of Panchatattva. It's so amazing. Oh, Vyasiki. Okay, Prabhu, yeah. So, yeah. So, Chandrodaya Mandir. Chandrodaya means Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you know, he has appeared like a moon. And he is showering the moon rays in form of his mercy, his blessings all over, spreading this moon of the Harinam Sankirtan all over the world. Through the chanting and kirtan of this holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Such an amazing name that Srila Prabhupada, you know, had given, and in 1975 he was giving a lecture in that room. And he was explaining the meaning of Mayapur Chandrodaya temple, why it is called Chandrodaya. Chandra means moon, Udaya means it has risen, like that. And we see that in the scriptures it is said that chanting is imported from the spiritual world. It is said, Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. So if something is imported from somewhere, how much value do we give? Right? We see that something is imported from Japan. Oh, it's such a nice thing, it's from Japan. Wow. You're so excited to see that. And we have got such a crucial thing. This is imported from Golok, Vrindavan, different planet altogether. Forget about the country. And we are busy in so many different things, and we think that this is not crucial for us, this is not important for us, this can take a second place, this is not a priority for us. How is it possible? So it is very, very attractive because it is imported from Goloka, it is imported from the spiritual world. Golokera Premadhana Harinam Sankirtana. And then in the next verse, we see the Kinnaras are saying. So yesterday Amog Leela Prabhu in this class was telling about Kim Purusha. Kupurusha, yeah. So he was telling Kim Purusha means what? Purusha? Are you really a Purusha or what kind of Purusha are you? So, but that was like more of a, whether you are a animal or monkey, and you know, half monkey, half like Purusha is telling, it's Hanuman is like that. Hanumanji. So here Kinnaras are also like that. So I did some search. So Kinnaras and Kim Purushas are like very, very similar, looks like. And there are different inhabitants, like we say, out of 8.4 million species, there are 400,000 of human beings. So probably they are a part of those 400,000 species, Kinnaras and Kim Purushas. And we see that in the theory of evolution, you know, Charles Darwin, who was very much loved by Srila Prabhupada because he used such nice adjectives for him, because he gave the theory of evolution from natural selection, you know, how species evolve. So he actually copied the theory of evolution from the scriptures, Vedas, but he contaminated it by his own intelligence. But since it was from the scriptures, it had such a huge impact, it was so powerful that a lot of people did accept it, and it made sense. To some degree it was correct. But there are, in 2006 there was a study, there are over 600 different disapprovals. You know, there are a lot of scientists all over the world who disapproved it. And the Discovery Institute President Bruce Chapman, a former deputy assistant to President Ronald Reagan, he said that Darwinism used to claim that virtually every scientist in the world held that Darwinian evolution was true. But we quickly started finding US scientists that disapproved that statement. Now we are finding that there are hundreds and probably thousands of scientists all over the world that don't subscribe to Darwin's theory. So even presidents and US scientists disapprove that, right? But the scriptures have told that 5,000 years back. Srimad Bhagavatam is saying what is actually evolution. So what Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, that there are ananta, living entities are ananta, unlimited. And they are said to belong to 8.4 million species. And it is stated in Vishnu Purana about the categorization of these species. So what it is said, Jalaja Navalakhani. Jalaja Navalakhani means in the water there are around 900,000 species. Sthavara Lakshya Vimshati. There are 2 million non-living entities. Kramayo Rudra Shankhaya. And there are 1.1 million insects, reptiles. Pakshina Dash Lakshana. The birds are how much? 1 million. Trimsha Lakshani Pashva. Quadrupeds are 3 million. And Chatur Lakshani Manusha. Chatur Lakshani Manusha means the human beings are 400,000 species. And many times people ask, oh, if everything is fixed, the souls are fixed, then why is the population of Earth increasing? Few years back it was 7 billion, now it is close to 8 billion. What is the reason? The reason is because these living species are not only on this planet, they are on other planets also. And in any case, within all the planets of the universe and even in the sun, there are living entities. This is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in 2.20. That soul never takes birth nor dies, and he is unborn, eternal, ever existing. He is not slain when the body is slain. So you cannot, like even in the sun, you cannot burn the soul, right? There are some entities who have the body of fire, body, whatever body, where they can actually live in the sun planet. And there is evolution of forms according to the degree of developed consciousness, how the consciousness is developed. In the higher planetary systems, the consciousness is more developed as compared to the lower planetary systems. A dog's consciousness is different from a man. And we can see a father's consciousness is different from the child. And so just like we have different forms, we have different consciousness also. So coming back to this verse, Kinnara said, O Supreme Controller, we are ever existing servants of your Lordship, but instead of rendering service to you, we were engaged by this demon in his service constantly and without remuneration. Imagine, he was getting work done, he was not paying anything to them. So that is a very bad situation. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the Shikshashtakam, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagat isha kame. Jagat means the universe, Isha means the Lord. So Mahaprabhu is saying, my dear Lord, the controller of the universe, I do not want dhanam. I do not want wealth. I do not want janam or birth. Na sundarim, I do not want the wonderful sexual experiences or the opposite sex. I do not want all those things. Then what do you want? If you don't want all these things, then why are you chanting? Why are you doing this devotional service? What is the reason? And he says, Mama janmani janmanishware bhavtat bhaktir ahetu kitvaye. My dear Lord, I just want your devotional service life after life. I do not want all these things. So he's not even asking for liberation, because the yogis, they want liberation. And the materialist also say, I want this, I want dhanam dehi, janam dehi, putram dehi. So many dehi, so many things I want. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I don't want anything of this nature. Simply I want to be engaged in your service. The nature of the soul, Prabhupada says, is to remain engaged. And the inhabitants of Kinnara planet are engaged in serving Hiraṇyakaśipu. But when we are chanting the holy names of Krishna, we are praying to Krishna that, my dear Lord, please engage me in your service. That is the prayer of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Rama, Hare Rama. Rama word, Prabhupada explains, also comes from the word Ramanti. Ramante means please engage me in your service. So, Prabhupada explains the meaning of the mantra. He says, Hare means addressing the energy of the Lord, and Krishna, the Lord, Rama, the Lord. Why? Why are we addressing the Lord? Please engage me in your service. That's all. That should be the demand. Because the whole disease is that we have forgotten to serve God. And therefore, we are serving so many different things. Prabhupada used to say, if you don't serve God, you will serve dog. Opposite of God is also dog. So, and because we are thinking, I am God, why should I serve anyone else? I should just, serve myself. I am God, so why should I serve someone else? So that is the disease. That is the last snare of Maya. Many times in Purport, Prabhupada writes, what is the last snare of Maya? Where we think we are God. Everything should be centered around us. That is the consciousness. So yeah, this is the prayer of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. My dear Lord, please engage me in your service. Because there are so many distractions, in this world. So many people, so many things which want us to get engaged in their service. But we have to be constantly recalculating ourselves to the right path and make sure we are on the track to serving Krishna. Because that is the real position. That is what will take us to our destination, to our final goal. Prayojan. You were sharing yesterday. And then in the last verse of this chapter 50, text 56, the associates of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu in Vaikuṇṭha are offering the prayers. They are saying, our supreme giver of shelter, O Lord, today we have seen your wonderful form as Nrsimhadev, meant for good fortune. We can understand that Hiraṇyakaśipu was the same Jaya who was engaged in your service. So yeah, Jaya is engaged in the Lord's service. He was engaged in Lord's service, yet he has to come down and fall to the material world. How is it possible? So, we all know the story and pastime of how the 4 Kumāras, they went to the gates of Vaikuṇṭha and they wanted to meet Narayan. And this Jaya Vijaya said, stop, you cannot enter. Suppose some kids come here without any clothes on them, naked. It's natural, you will say, just stop, this is not the code of conduct here in this temple. We have certain policies. You have to wear clothes. So some managers are responsible for handling all those situations, which is a very difficult job. Mukundcharan Prabhu is our responsible for handling such situations. So then they were cursed. Jaya and Vijaya were cursed by these 4 Kumāras, and they said that, they were very sorry. And Lord Narayan also appeared that time. He said, I accept the responsibility because I am their master. So similarly, if we do something wrong, then we actually, which is not becoming of ourselves, then we put blame on the Vaishnavas, the Guru Parampara, and to Radha Krishna. So our character should be like that, where we do not disgrace the entire Guru Parampara. Right? So this is one lesson from there, because ultimately our master is responsible for our behavior. We can give a very good class, cook nice prasadam, dress the deities nicely, but if our behavior is not Vaishnav, our behavior is not good, then what value? That is the most important thing that we should remember. And so Lord Narayan appeared there at the scene, and Srila Prabhupada explains in this context that how responsible a servant of the Lord must be, knowing this, because whatever we'll do, it will either glorify or humiliate our Guru, the assembly of Vaishnava, the previous Acharyas, and Krishna himself. And if we perform work that is unbecoming, it is a scar upon Guru, Vaishnavas, and Krishna. And the whole world will recognize that scar. So when we misbehave as devotees, people, what will people think? Oh, this is what a devotee of Krishna is like. And this is what they do. This is the type of guru. This is what a guru teaches you. So people will criticize. They will criticize the parampara, and ultimately they will criticize Krishna. And Vrindavan Das Thakur explains in the Chaitanya Bhagavat that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to establish the highest form of worship in the form of worship of the Vaishnavas. So, and then Narayan said, actually it was my desire that these Jaya Vijaya should be cursed. So, Lord Narayan said that actually I have the power to counteract the curse that you have been given by the 4 Kumāras. But explained that there is no reason that Jaya Vijaya would stop such great sages from entering into Vaikuṇṭha. But because Lord Narayan wanted them to commit that offense, so they made this offense. So that is one very important lesson from this pastime. And also we see that Jaya is like Ravana, he is Hiraṇyakaśipu and his Shishupal, right? And we see that in this case, Prahlad was always telling Hiraṇyakaśipu about the glorification of Lord. Please don't do all these things, please give it up, go to Vrindavan and smear the dust of Vrindavan to your body. And similarly we see in the Ramayana, Mandodari, the wife of Ravana, Vibhishan, the brother of Ravana, were always telling him, this is wrong, give Sita back. You are a coward, you are against the dharma, you have kidnapped somebody's wife without their permission. You should give her back. They were telling, but he never listened. And similarly, Prahlad was telling and they never listened. And Hiraṇyakaśipu captured the whole world, but he couldn't change the mind of his son, Prahlad. And similarly, Vibhishan, couldn't change the mind of, Ravana couldn't change the mind of Vibhishan. So there are some mappings between these two. And next chapter will be the prayers. Very famous, Prahlad pacifies Lord Narasimhadev with prayers. So here we will end. Thank you very much. I am little over time, but I am sorry for that. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Any? Oh, yes.
Quote. I know it's in the CC somewhere, where Prabhupada mentions in the purport about the importance of chanting Hare Krishna mantra, but he says that in this material world, the Hare Krishna mantra is the manifestation of the flute sound of Krishna.
Interesting.
That makes sense because you chant Hare Krishna and you get attracted to Krishna, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. So would you like to create the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in form of the flute sound? Prabhu, can you hold the mic? Yeah, so this verse is talking about chanting the glories of the Lord. So it is, now we can see the experiment. So hypothesis and experimentation is here, the glories. And then we'll see the results, the change of our hearts. The ecstasy of love of Krishna will be there. So this is very scientific assembly of devotees. Yes, Balaram Prabhu, yeah.
In relation to Grihasthas giving charity, because you're mentioning that briefly. I know some people who, I don't think they give in charity. One of them tells me he doesn't give in charity because what he says is, he says he doesn't have faith in the temple or any temples for that matter, that they will utilize the money properly and do something good with it. More so, he doesn't have faith in the leaders or the devotees, you know. And another
He has faith in the leaders or not?
He doesn't.
He does not?
No.
Oh, I see.
And then there's other people, they may not identify, they're devotees, but they may not identify with any institution like ISKCON or any Gaudiya groups. They don't really identify. But then the question is, you know, who are they giving to? So what should people like that do? What do you think? Because if you're not identified with any group, and then the principle of charity is there, and if you're not giving, then how do you get purified?
Exactly.
I mean, you could say, well, I'm just taking shelter of the holy name. Okay, fine.
Are they chanting also?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So what do you think about that?
Yeah, sometimes money is sweeter than honey. So it's people people are very much attached to money. They don't want to give it. Yes, Prabhu, would you like to answer?
Well, I don't want to usurp your idea.
No, please go ahead. Yeah, I can tell after that.
Well, someone who's doubtful, who thinks that the money will be misspent or stolen, they can bring an offering to the deities. Are they really going to think that if you bring a bag of flour, we're going to go and try to sell it in the market? We'll use it for the deities. So that's one way of giving charity for someone who's a little doubtful about, you know, well, if I give this money, it may be stolen or misspent. If you give something that obviously is, you know, like that, you can. That's right. That's my feeling. Or you can sponsor the feast, or sponsor the Sunday feast. You know, and if you come one morning and Dayanidhi says he doesn't say anything about being sponsored, you know that the money's been taken. So you sure you know, you can come on Wednesday or Friday and you say this is for the next Sunday feast. You come to the feast, and it's, you know, this is sponsored by so and so by you. Then how can we cheat?
Correct. Yeah, nice. Thank you, Prabhu. I was also going to answer along the same lines, because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says there are different levels of surrender. So I think he mentions about doing service, and then he says meditation is better than this, and you know there is a whole chain of things. You work for me, Krishna says, right? So there is a whole chain of things. So like one of them is service. So if somebody is attracted to a particular service, you know, so somebody is very intellectual or like the scriptures, he want to distribute, then go and distribute books. If somebody likes to do seva, he doesn't want to give money, okay, help in the kitchen cutting the vegetables or cleaning the temple, you know. And so depending, I think we have to understand the inclination, the propensity of that particular devotee, and they are chanting the holy name, so definitely they are respectable. We have to respect, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you know, who is a Vaishnava, one who is chanting the holy name of the Lord. Understanding their propensity, their inclination, and engaging them in that way. So I think slowly, you know, our goal is to purify, you know, them and the whole world. So if they can get engaged in that, I think that's fine. Because there will be some category of devotees who want to donate money. They can't do anything. So I mean, there is a mixed bag. So we should try to.
One thing also just to add is that I would think that somewhere in the world, like if one identifies as a Vaishnava, means if one identifies as everybody knows what a Vaishnava is. If one identifies as a Vaishnava and they may have issues with maybe all the temples, somehow or other, or they have issues with so many leaders or whatever, not necessarily that the people will squander the money and steal it. I mean, that they may think that, but just may have issues with the leaders in general, like why should I give to people who are hypocritical or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, but it would seem that in the whole world, you could find at least one devotee that you have faith in. I mean, if you don't, that's very sad. But you could find one devotee you have faith in, and give some donations to that person for your own benefit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyways, it's just
that's a good point, Prabhu.
In addition to
at least one devotee you have faith, maybe your guru or your siksha guru or whoever it is who's guiding you. At least give them something. If you that's a very good point. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, Mukund Charan Prabhu, you want to speak something? Okay. Good.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vijay Krishna Prabhu. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, we know. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu, my question is about respect.
Yes.
And 5 types of people to whom we owe respect, beginning with God, then the devotee senior to me, my peers, the devotees who are junior to me, and the indifferent people, the envious people, the atheists. So my question is, what kind of respect should we give to each person I just mentioned?
What kind of respect?
What kind of respect should I give to God? What kind of respect should I give to the senior, etc., and so on?
Yeah, so this morning I was reading a quote of Srila Prabhupada. There is a calendar every day Prabhupada speaks. So very wonderful quote was there. He said that when the war of Kurukshetra was going on, in the evening, even the enemies, they would come into the camp of the other opponent party, and they would talk to them, they would welcome them, they will give them a seat and something to eat. So even to the enemies, there was an etiquette that they would respect them during that time. So imagine such a high culture, high civilization, and obviously after that they will go back, and next day when they will fight like enemies. So what they are doing is they are respecting that living force, that consciousness, that Atma within every living individual, whoever they are. From the platform of Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Suri Chaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshina, whether it is a Brahmin, a dog eater, an elephant or a dog, the learned person sees that spark in each and everybody. So they respect everybody, they love, they see that spark, they have that compassion for them. But yes, understanding, somebody is envious of us, we keep a respectable distance from them and focus on what we have to do in life and focus on our growth, on our spiritual progression. So we deal with all those negative things, but we focus on what is important for us. Because if we keep focusing on the negative thing, the mind, it will consume us. Apuryamadam achalam pratishtham samudramapam pravashanti yadvat tadvat kamaya pravashanti sarve sa shanti mapnoti na kama kami. Krishna Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter 70th verse says, there are so many desires that are coming to our mind. I should do this, I should deal with that person. But a peaceful person is one who does not pay attention or heed to all these different things. Just, he's shant, he's peaceful, understands what is important for them. So similarly, we deal with the negativities and we focus on the positive things. Otherwise, the mind will kill us. It will become our greatest enemy. Does that make sense, Prabhu?
Yes, that makes sense. What about the respect I owe to the juniors to me? How should I treat them?
Yeah, to juniors, we should not think that I have more knowledge, I am more skillful, or I am more senior or advanced to them. The definition, even a guru, Srila Prabhupada once was asked, is Allen Ginsberg your disciple? Are you the guru of Allen Ginsberg? Srila Prabhupada said, I am nobody's guru, I am their servant. Very humbly he said. Huh? Yeah. So what it means is, even a guru considers himself the servant of the disciple. So imagine, That should be the position to our juniors. How should we expect? Because, we should understand that Krishna has sent this person for my association, for us. So we should treat very nicely with love and compassion, and whatever we can give them, guidance, training, we should do in a very humble state of mind, not thinking that I am superior, I am better than them. The moment we think we are better or we get pride, Krishna will immediately leave our heart. Just like the gopis in the rasa dance, all the gopis were thinking, oh, Krishna is with me, Krishna is with me, Krishna is not with anybody else. Then Krishna actually left. Anna radito nunam, Bhagwan Ishvara Hari, and Krishna left his Srimati, and all the gopis could see the footprints of Srimati Radharani, they left. So if pride enters our heart, Krishna is out. There is only one thing in our heart, either Krishna or pride. So, yeah, we should respect even our juniors. We should love them with compassion. Is that answer a question, Prabhu?
Yes, that answers my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Most kind. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the nice question.
You're welcome.
Any other comment or?
If there's time, I wanted to share one quote from the
Yes,
Bhagavad
Prabhuji,
Gita.
please go ahead. Yeah.
So you were talking about Vaishnavas who are not maybe taking advantage of Sanghas, so many facilities offered by the spiritual master. Maybe they're not taking advantage, not donating or whatever. This is just a very surprising quote. It's from the 10th chapter, text 11 from the Bhagavad Gita. Here's from the purport. But even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literatures or of his spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness.
Yes, very nice. Yes, Prabhu. That's in the purport. I remember that. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay. Any other comment or? Jaya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.